everyone, back at the More YouTube channel. It's Chris back with the Aftermath. This is the show we do when the dust has settled from the instant post-match reaction to Newcastle United's latest game, which happened to be a 3-1 away win against Burnley at Turf Moor. Now, that sounds really good on paper, but we all know that didn't really tell the true story, did it? I'm jumping on here. I've just been to the gym this morning. It's New Year's Eve. I thought I'd try and do some exercise in between all of the chocolate and the beer. Instantly regretted it halfway through a treadmill run when I was sweating pure chocolate and beer. But I think I moved a bit more than Fabian Schär did last night, apart from when he had to clear it off the line. But there's a lot of issues in that game last night. Now, primarily, the best part of the game was the win. We had to get a win. It was a must-win. I said it was a must-win in preview. I think every single Newcastle United fan was calling it a must-win, because it was. If Newcastle United didn't get off to a win in this kind of start of the fixtures leading into January, it could have been a really, really difficult spell for the manager and the players. It still might be, because none of these games are home bankers the way Newcastle have played this season. So inconsistent. Form drops off in games, and this game was no different. We started like a house on fire. It looked like it could be 4 or 5-0, and I was thinking, go on Newcastle, go and get a 4 or 5-0 win, get some confidence back for, taking on Palace at St James's Park, then Leeds, 2 home games back-to-back that you should be able to win. You got some kind fixtures in January. We've got Wolves as well in January. We've got some kind fixtures, some hard ones as well in terms of the Carabao Cup tie against Manchester City, but they had to put a performance in last night as well as get a win, in my opinion, and they did that for the first 8 minutes. The performance was there. I think the addition of Johan Wissa definitely gives Newcastle a dynamic that we haven't had for quite a long time now. That's not a slag on Nick Vogt-Maher. I think he's been excellent since he's come in. The fact he's got the amount of goals he has got, given the fact he gets no service, is quite incredible, really. If you had people around Nick Vogt-Maher who can get close to him, run beyond him, and pick him out with crosses in the box, he would get in the box a lot more. The reason the lad's coming so deep is because the team are deep. The team aren't getting forward to get the ball to him. And, he went off the pitch against Manchester United and avoided God knows how many hit and hope crosses to the lad, and he's not even there. So that's a major problem. And it's not like the kid's just got here. We've had him for 20 games and still can't seem to figure out his game. That goes back to the coaching staff, in my opinion. They have to come up with a formula for that to work. And I honestly do think the formula has been, well, when Wissa's fit, we'll be able to play the way we used to play with Alex. I generally think that's what they've been muddling through this entire season. It's been a mess. It's been a hot mess, it really has. And Newcastle did get the win yesterday, but again, some real issues, some real warning signs. That defensive unit, yes, it's hampered by injury. Botman, Burn, Tino, Trippier, all injured. But let's just unpack that for a minute, right? Does that not speak to the volumes of not getting in defensive cover, relying on too many players that are over 30? And I know Tino's not, and Botman's not, and they're both very injury-prone players. So that, again, goes back to the coaching staff and goes back to the hierarchy. Why didn't you get more defensive cover, knowing how injury-prone Sven Botman is, knowing how injury-prone Tino Livramento can be, knowing that the defence is ageing? Why didn't you move some of them out and get some younger bodies in? Young Alex Murphy, I feel so sorry for him. He's been on the bench all season, barely getting a sniff. You can see that Malik Chow and Fabian Schär do not work. Liam from the Geordie Journals called them an odd pair of socks. I think that was absolutely bang on. They do not work, and Fabian Schär is looking like Father Time has crept right up on him. He's still a handsome-looking motherfucker, but he's playing like he's 34. Fuck, he's playing like he's 44. The way he was moving the other night. That's Burnley. No disrespect to Burnley, but if Burnley are going to take us on like that, if Burnley had a proper centre forward, if Burnley even had like a Liam Delap that Ipswich had last season, we'd have lost that game. No doubt about it. Edwards was on the ball. He was looking like fucking Morgan Gibbs White. That's how bad we were. No control in midfield. Sandro Tonali, what has happened to this player? Where has he gone? He's dropped right off. And ever since he made those comments about questioning his future, there's always talk about Sandro Tonali being homesick, and I generally dismiss it as bullshit. But I'm starting to think that something's not right with Sandro Tonali, that maybe he does want to leave the football club, because we're not seeing the same level of commitment from the player. We're not seeing that player who would dominate games, chase people down like a fucking rabid dog, like that dog in Stand By Me, chopper sick balls. That's what he was like. He used to just steam into players and win the ball back, and he would sprint as hard in the 91st minute as he would in the first. But you're not seeing that from Tonali now. He's losing control. His passing's wayward. He looks disinterested, and it's a real concern. If Eddie Howe had the balls, even without the right back, I would be more inclined to shove Alex Murphy in alongside Fabian Schär, moving back to his natural right-sided position, and put Malik Chow right back and push Miley into midfield to get some more control on the ball. You could even play Jacob Murphy as a right back, which I think is probably more risky than the first option there. But Howe doesn't have the balls to make that big call. He won't hook Sandro Tonali out that side. You know, he's just letting him play his way back into some kind of resemblance of form, and maybe he never will. You know, we've been through this before with Eddie Howe, with Sean Longstaff, with Dan Burn at left back. He just perseveres and perseveres and perseveres with these players when they're off form, and they're actually hampering the team. They're not helping it. And that's bad management. That's weak management. That's cowardly management by the manager. You're paid what you're paid to make the big calls and do the job. And, you know, some of you might be yelling at me going, especially some of you how in Kool-Aid swiggers going, oh, fucking hell, Chris, I won the game when you fucking slugging the manager. But it's on the manager to make those tough calls. Make that decision. Maybe Sandro Tonali doesn't want to leave. Maybe he's just struggling. Maybe he's struggling physically. Maybe he's struggling mentally. He's just become a new dad recently. That is a massive change to your sleeping patterns, to the way your life is. Maybe he's struggling a little bit with that. Take the lad out of the team, then rest him. You know, put Miley in the midfield, put Ramsey in the midfield, put Joe Linton back in the midfield as a midfield too. Play Voltemada in behind Wissa. You've got options, Eddie. You can make changes, but you won't, because you're so stubbornly fixated on your 4-3-3 and nothing else will do. And teams have figured us out. Even shit teams like Burnley have figured us out. They knew our game plan. I said this on the post-match as well. Newcastle come out the traps first 10, 15 minutes, and then regardless of whatever's happening, whether they've got a goal in front or not, they regress, they stop. And I think this is all down to this overcomplication of player performance. When James Bunt's come in, working with Eddie as part of the team, this whole thing about reserving your energies and spells in the games, and I know you've got to do that, and I know that's going to prevent injury, but it's not working. We're all still fucking injured, and the reason they're all still injured is because they're all in their 30s, half of them, or they're injury-prone players, like Botman and Tino. I love both those players, but you've got to start wondering, are these players going to be available for us? Never mind how good they are when they are. They're never available. So why is the manager and the recruitment team and the hierarchy not looking at adding bodies in? If they've got no faith in the youngsters, they don't want to try Alex Murphy or Leo Shahar or anybody like that, then go and get some other players. The January transfer window is opening soon. We need 2 full-backs. We need a right-back straight away who can walk into that team oven ready to play. And we need a left-back cover for Lewis Hall, who was magnificent again against Burnley. He was excellent against Manchester United. Best player on the park. Arguably best player in the park again last night alongside Joe Linton, I think. But Lewis Hall, we need to wrap him up in cotton wool. He's more valuable to us than fucking David Attenborough is to nature documentaries at the minute. Without Lewis Hall, we've got nothing by the looks of it. You know, yes, Bruno Guimaraes has that ability to drag us on his back and save the day when he needs to, but he's blowing, he's tired, he's fatigued, he's run down. The manager doesn't rotate the squad enough. He didn't do it last time we were in the Champions League, and he's not doing it again, and players are burnt out. We don't have the squad depth. We were supposed to have the squad depth. Alanga was supposed to be squad depth. Ramsey was supposed to be squad depth. Wissa was supposed to be squad depth. Yes, Wissa's been out injured, and he's just come back, and you can see the quality there, the goals, the movement, the dynamic running, the confidence, the arrogance of a centre-forward. Wissa's going to bring us that, but Ramsey and Alanga have been dog shit. Alanga is one of the worst signs I've ever seen this club make, even pre-takeover. He's fucking awful. He makes Gabby Obertan look like fucking prime Ronaldo. That's how shit this kid is at the minute. And I know people say, oh, give him a chance, Chris. I've seen enough. The guy's shit. Get rid. Go get a proper right winger in the transfer window. If you've got money to spend, get the fucking job done. And Jacob Ramsey, I don't know if it's an attitude problem or not, but he just doesn't look like the player that I thought we were signing. 40-odd million quid, Villa have had our fucking pants down. If Aston Villa bought Morgan Rogers for 8 million and sold that fucker for 40, Jesus, get whoever's doing the deals at Villa to fix the fucking UK economy. They're a business genius to do moves like that. But Newcastle definitely need to add to this squad. There's no doubt about it. Full-back cover is key. The goalkeeping situation, I still think it needs addressed, but it won't be addressed until the summer, in my opinion. Trafford's not the answer, in my opinion. I think throwing a young keeper into that situation right now is dangerous, but I think we'll stick with Pope and Ramsdale till the end of the season. But full-back cover is a must, because we have to get control of that midfield again. I'm more than happy for Lewis Miley to go in that midfield. I think the way he looks after the ball, he's added goals to his game as well, so he's a goal threat. Him and Bruno link up so well together. Tonali is offered completely off it. And I know there's huge Tonali fans in the fan base, and there'll be some of you in the comments now telling me I'm a wanker for even criticising Sandro Tonali, but come on, guys. That is not the Sandro Tonali that we know and we love. We need Tonali back at his best. That ain't him. You know, and there's some real winnable games for Newcastle here, but if Tonali keeps putting in lacklustre performances, dragging down the standard of the midfield, we're going to be exposed. We got Leeds coming up soon, and you bet your arse sure Longstaff will want to make a point like he did in the away fixture at St James's Park and take control of that midfield. And if Tonali's not up for it, Longstaff will rough him up. He likes that game, you know, so they need to be bang at it. I would rather have control in the midfield, let Longstaff run himself tired and the rest of them. And Sandro does not bring that at the minute. Bruno and Miley do bring that. The manager's got a big call to make there, but he hasn't got the balls to make it. So Miley will continue right back until either Tino's fit or Trippier's fit if he even stays, or we sign a right back. Now he's probably most likely to drop Miley to the bench, probably knowing the way Eddie Howe goes, which I think would be mental the way the kid has played so far this season. Been one of the best players by a mile. But we definitely need cover at full back going into a mental January. But yeah, it was a big win, a good win, but a really poor performance. And we need to be doing better than that, because Palace are a better side than Burnley. Palace could beat us if we turn up and put in that performance against Palace. I'm going to be at the game on Sunday, so Mark will be with you on post-match. So it'll be interesting to see how the lads play. But if they don't turn up, Adam Wharton could take control at midfield. He's a smashing player. Mateta's a good player. They've got dangerous players in that team who can cause you problems, Palace. So Newcastle need to be at it in that fixture. That's not a home banker guaranteed at all. Same with Leeds. Leeds have got energy in that side too. If Newcastle put in the performance they put in after the 15-minute mark to about the 70th against Burnley, we could lose those games, and that is unthinkable. So we need to win all these games coming up. I saw the Geordie journals the other day saying that there's 5 games you need to win there. Sounds mad, but Newcastle do. This January could turn the whole season around, win in the Premier League, get back into the top 5 picture. If you somehow manage to beat City and get to the cup final, that's massive for the club. Huge confidence booster, chance of another trophy, get through the FA Cup as well. This is a massive January, make or break in many ways for the season. Will Newcastle do it or not? I don't know. Answers on a postcard, guys. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Me and Mark will do a lot more in-depth diving into what Newcastle need when the window's open. We'll probably do that as a live show in between the games. A lot. I'm away with work as well, unfortunately, so I'll not be able to do a couple of other post matches, but Mark is going to step in. He'll be in the chair behind the mic as well. But thanks for watching, guys. Have a brilliant New Year's Eve, whatever you're doing. Drink, be merry, have a great crack, set your New Year's resolutions. What's your New Year's resolutions? Let me know in the comments below if you fancy it. I'm going to eat less salt. I fucking have way too much salt, man. I tell you, honestly, too much salt. Try to lose a bit of weight, not be a fat bastard as well. But I hope that Eddie Howe's New Year's resolution is to grow a pair of balls, make tough decisions when he needs to, and sign some fucking fullbacks who are under the age of 30, please. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy New Year, and I'll see you later. Cheers.
Heroes celebrate. They have done it.